Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Desktop, Microsoft Whiteboard. So you are all able to see the screen, right? So, yes? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine, thank you. So let's start with, so topic of today's discussion is modal analysis, and this has got to do with free vibration. Free vibration problem. So here we will discuss basically free vibration of cantilever beams. Okay. And have you all, I suggest you all have some basic course on vibration. So that will be helpful in following this session. And you all know a typical cantilever beam. Okay. And let's choose this as axis, x-axis. W is the transverse deflection of the beam. Right. W is the transverse deflection of the beam. Okay, and we all know that equation for, yes, equation for free vibration of the beam is rho A d2W dt2 plus EI. So this is the equation for free vibration, right? And to solve this equation, we are looking for actually modal solutions. What do we mean by modal solutions? Is that the mathematical form of a modal solution will be some mode shape times the harmonic function, something which vibrates. This is the simple harmonic function, the complex representation of a simple harmonic function. This is the mode shape. We call this the mode shape. The objective of this free vibration or modal analysis is to obtain the mode shape and omega n, which is the natural frequency of the cantilever beam pertaining to a particular mode shape. So every mode shape will have a corresponding natural frequency. This is what you should keep in mind. And when you replace this solution, when you replace this solution in the free vibration equation, which is this, you replace the modal solution in the free vibration equation, you end up with omega n square psi n plus EI. Here I am writing prime. This prime actually means fourth derivative with respect to x. Means the fourth derivative with respect to x. So what we do, we further rearrange this equation and we will write it as omega n square EI. Okay. And we will denote this quantity over here, this quantity, this term. This term we will write as k to the power 4 equal to rho a omega n whole square divided by EI. Okay. And when you solve this differential equation, I'm sure you all know how to solve linear differential equation. So now we can write a solution for psi n. Okay. And solution for psi n is C1 cos. You can also denote this by k. So this k will be here, kx C2 sine kx, and you will have hyperbolic terms C3 cos hyperbolic kx and C4 sine hyperbolic kx. So I'll write it again in a fresh page. So the mode shape has a general form of C1 cos kx, C2 sine kx, C3 cos hyperbolic kx, and C4 sine hyperbolic kx. And we had k to the power 4. We had this expression. The net is slow. Okay. So we have expression for k as rho a omega n square by EI. So this we have to keep in mind. If we can solve for k, we can solve for the natural frequency. Okay. Now for the cantilever beam, which we had shown earlier, simple cantilever beam with this as x, this is x equal to L, and this is x equal to 0. W represents the transverse deflection of this beam. So what are the boundary conditions for this cantilever beam? We know that W at 0 is 0, dW dx at 0 is 0. What is the, we know that the free end does not have bending moment. So the second derivative of W at x equal to L and also the shear force is 0. So that means the third derivative at x equal to L is 0. Okay, these are the boundary conditions. When you replace these boundary conditions in this equation, which is also the equation for W, so you end up with 4 equations, 4 different sets of equations, which you can represent it in the matrix form. So First, I will write the 4 equations, then I will show you the matrix representation. So the first equation will be C1 plus C3 equal to 0. When you replace 0, you see that this is 0, this is 0, only C1 and C3 is there. Next, when you have W comma X at 0, you have beta, not beta, you have K, K and C2 plus C4 equal to 0. Let's say this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. So this is using 1 and this is using 2. Okay. And then we have the second equation. Okay. The third equation. So we have beta minus beta square sine beta L C3 plus, oh, sorry. So we have minus beta square cos beta L C1. Again, you have minus beta square sine beta L. This beta is actually K. This beta is actually K. And this is equal to C2 plus beta square cos hyperbolic beta L, and this is C3 plus beta square sine hyperbolic beta L C4 is equal to 0. Okay, and then when you use 4, actually here all beta is equal to K. Beta is equal to K. All the beta is equal to K. So all of them are equal to K. This is K. This is K. This is K. Similarly, this is K square sine KL C1 plus minus of K square cos KL C2 plus K square sine hyperbolic KL C3 plus K square cos hyperbolic KL, and this is C4. Okay. Any questions still here? Any questions? Okay. Okay, so these are the four sets of equation which you get after replacing the boundary conditions over here. Okay, because this psi n should satisfy the same boundary conditions as Wx. Okay, now we will represent this four set of equations in matrix form. Cos kl, sin kl, k square cos hyperbolic kl, and k square sin hyperbolic kl. Similarly, here it will be k square sin kl. It will be minus k square cos kl, and again it will be k square sin hyperbolic kl, and then k square cos hyperbolic kl. So this is the matrix. Okay, and then here we will write the coefficients c1, c2, c3, and c4. So you know this is a homogeneous set of equations. For homogeneous set of equations, if we want non-trivial solutions, non-trivial means that at least one of them should be non-zero. We expect the determinant of this matrix to be 0. The determinant of this matrix, let me call this matrix A. This determinant of A should be 0. If you compute the determinant and if you set it to 0, you will end up with a transcendental equation which reads as cos hyperbolic KL into cos of KL. So this is the transcendental equation which you can solve using various methods. You can solve this using Newton-Raphson's method. You can also use a command in MATLAB known as F0. If you use this command in MATLAB, you define this as a function and you write an initial guess, you will be able to solve for KL. You can define KL as a variable X and then you can solve for KL as a whole. So once you do this, so you will end up with some values of KL. Okay, as you can see, this will have multiple solutions. So one of them will be K1 as 1.875 by L. Second one will be K2 as 4.694 divided by L. And second one will be K3, which is 7.854 divided by L. So this has multiple solutions. So you will have K1, K2, K3 up to n number of solutions. Getting these values of K pertains to mode. or a particular mode of vibration for the cantilever beam. For instance, K1 pertains to the first mode, K2 pertains to the second mode, and this pertains to the third mode. So once you have different values of K, you can now obtain the natural frequency. If you recall, we had this relation rho A omega n square by EI that was equal to K to the power 4. Now you can replace values of K1 and get for the first natural frequency pertaining to K1. Similarly, you can get omega 2 pertaining to K2. So you can get the natural frequencies of the beam. If you replace this, the natural frequencies of the beam, they have the following expression. So omega 1, the first natural frequency squared, is 1.875 1 by L to the power 4 EI by rho A. Similarly, omega 2, you have 4.69 and you have EI by rho A. Similarly, you will get omega 3 square. So omega 3 square you can get as 7.854 by L EI by rho A. Now, when you solve the same problem in ANSYS, set of these values of the flexural properties of the beam, modulus of elasticity, the second moment area, second moment of area, density, and the cross-sectional area, they will be provided to you. And analytically, if you see for L equal to 1, that means cantilever beam of 1 meter length, rho as 7830 kg per meter cube, cross sectional area as a square cross section, and second moment of area and E will be 210 GPa for steel for or 10 to the power 9 pascals. For this, using the expressions which we had arrived earlier, you will get omega 1 as 8.365 hertz. Actually, using that expression, you will get the frequency in rads per second. So 52.56 rads per second. When you divide this by 2 pi, you end up with this. Similarly, omega 2 will be 329.4005 rads per second. And corresponding circular frequency 52.425 hertz. Omega 3 is 928.18 rads per second. And this will be 146.77 hertz. So first natural frequency, the second natural frequency, all you have computed using analytically. Now for beam of same material and geometric properties, it will be shown that how you compute using ANSYS, using finite element, and we will compare it with these analytically obtained values. There will be slight error because first of all, this is for Euler-Bernoulli beam model, which goes for very thin beams. Okay, then there will be some nonlinear effects, and also there will be error in modeling this in meshing. Depending on the number of elements, the accuracy will change. So all this will create slight difference between the obtained analytical values and the values which you obtain using ANSYS. So this is all about analytical formulation. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Questions? Yes? Any questions? Okay, I think there are no further questions. So I hand it to Professor Selva Kumar.
Okay. Now you hear me? All of you can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now the analytical portion you have seen how to calculate the natural frequency for nodes, first node, second node, third node, etc. Let us simulate the same thing by using ANSYS. Okay. Now I am opening the ANSYS. You please tell me. Can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, run it. Run it. Okay. So the answers you Sarah has shown, right? Some three answers. We will be checking it whether we are getting it in answers or not. Okay. Now you are watching the answers part. You have to open the software. Now click on preferences, structural. Okay. Okay. Now click on preprocessor. Here, uh, click on element type, add edit element, add beam element, 3D 188 beam, 2 node 188 you have to choose. 2 node 188 you have to choose. Okay, it is chosen. Beam 188 is the element we are using for analyzing this problem. Close. Okay, we have chosen it. Next, material properties, material models. Click on material model. Click on structural, linear, elastic, isotropic, where you have to input the Young's modulus value 210 E9. 210 E9. Okay, Young's modulus value 210 gigapascal, it is inputted. And Young's modulus value, sorry, Poisson ratio value, by default we are taking this value as 0.3. Okay. Now, density is also required for this analysis. So click on density. Substitute the density value 7830 kg per meter cube. Okay, 7830 kg per meter cube. It is inputted. Click OK. Next, sections. Click on beam, common sections. Now we are defining the cross section of the beam. 0.01 meter, 0.01 meter. Okay, it's a square section. It is a preview is given. So cross section preview is shown now. It is a 10 cross 10, 10 mm cross 10 mm size. So I am inputting all dimensions in meter. Therefore 0.01 meter, 0.01 meter cross section. Okay. So other values, the moment of inertia value, moment of inertia, area, etc. is calculated and it is shown in the screen itself. Okay. Right. Next, click on modeling, create. So we are creating on key points in active coordinate system. First key point 0, 0. So first point is 0, 0. Second key point is created at a distance of 1 meter, 1 comma 0. Okay. Therefore, the beam is created. Beam is key points are created 1 and 2 at a distance of 1 meter. Therefore, we are defining the length of the beam. Now, click on line, straight line. Here choose, by simple click you have to choose these two. Okay, so the line is created. Click OK. Now you have to do meshing. Click on mesh, meshing tools. Okay, now here on lines select this, set it OK. Okay, here number of divisions, I am saying that it is 50 divisions. 1 meter is divided into 50 elements. Okay, now it is done. Next, mesh tool, mesh it. Select this line, click OK. So meshing is done. Right. Next, you have to click on solution in order to give the boundary condition. Analysis type, click on analysis type. Here, click new analysis. New analysis. Here you have to choose model. Okay, you have to choose model. Okay, click OK. Click OK. Right. Next, analysis option. Here you have to click on analysis option. Click on analysis option. Okay. So by default it is block Lancos. Okay, it is a default selection. Let us keep it as such. Next, number of modes to extract means 5 nodes. We will be seeing it. Set it as 5. Okay. Here is also n mode. Number of modes to expand 5. Set it as 5. Click OK. Right. Now frequency B, start frequency 0. N frequency, let us keep this as 1000 hertz. 1000 hertz. Okay. Click OK. Now define loads, apply structural displacement on key point. Means the key point 0 is set as and all degrees of freedom will be arrested, means fixed. We are giving cantilever condition. One end is fixed, all degrees of freedom fixed at this end, left end. Next. So we have given everything. So boundary condition is given. So we are giving frequency from the range of 0 to 1000 hertz, and we will be going for solution now, right? Solve, click solve, current loading condition, click OK. Now solution is done. Solution is done. Okay. Now now I want to see the solution. So click on general post processor. Click on read results. Read results. Here you choose first set. First set. Plot results. Click plot results. Deformed shape. Deformed plus undeformed. Click OK. So it is showing the value. You just check the result. Read results. First set. Replot. Right click it and you have to do replot. Okay. Here you can see the frequency value 8.36. 8.36. Okay. Next. Next set. Right click and refresh it. You will be getting frequency 52.44 hertz. Then replot it. You will be seeing the modes. So again, if you right click, here you can see the frequency 146.98 hertz. Okay, this will be the mode shape. 1, 2, 3. 3 modes are happening here. Right. Next. So this is the solution for this particular problem. We have discussed a cantilever beam. We have given frequency as a load ranging from 0 to 1000 hertz. The variation and the frequency ranges we have computed. Okay. So initial, next step, replot. So here 2 node, for creating 2 node, this will be the natural frequency 52.44, and for next one you can say that I mean in this case 1, 2, 3 modes, the natural frequency is 146.93 hertz. Let us check this value with the analytical solution. Analytical solution. This one. So this almost matching, right? The first frequency 8.36, omega 2 52.425, and omega 3 146.77. So the ANSYS result is matching with the analytical result. So there will be some variation because of computation and model, etc. So here it is shown the third frequency 146.98. The analytical, you just see that analytical, it is 146.77. Okay, so this is your seventh exercise. You try it at your home. Tomorrow's class, I mean the next week, we will be discussing on simply supported and fixed beam. Okay, we are not going to discuss very elaborately the analytical part. So I will be giving you the final results. I mean, what are the expression, final expression, and from that we will be substituting the values and we can compare the results. Okay, any questions? Any questions?